I'm a change catalyst. I believe in empowering people to reach their full potential.
Yes,
So that
yes.
jointly we can grow together and transform the community around us. I also serve as the CEO of Premier Care Hospital Group,
Okay.
and I'm really honored to be here. I'm also part of the Rural and Urban Private Hospital Association, where I serve as the Deputy Secretary General.
Wonderful.
So really honored to be here today.
Great. All right, that's Dr. Stephen Ojwang with us in studio. And we have Valerie Maleche remotely. Good morning, Valerie. Can you hear us?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, and I thank God that I'm available today.
Yes, yes. We are glad that you made time to join us this morning.
Yeah.
All right, great. Would you just introduce yourself for someone who's getting you for the first time? Would you please introduce yourself?
Okay, my name's Valerie Maleche Wangila, and I'm a nutritionist currently working at Kenyatta National Hospital. And at the moment, I am married to Juma Wangila, and we are
Okay,
blessed with 3 children.
wonderful. All right, I think just beginning off with you, Valerie, I would just want you to give us a recap of our conversation last Tuesday, just briefly.
Okay, last Tuesday we were discussing about why breastfeed, and we were going through the World Breastfeeding Week, where the theme was closing the gap,
Yes.
breastfeeding support for all. So about why breastfeed, we know that during the first 6 months of life, you should only
Yes.
give your baby breast milk because it is the perfect food for the baby.
Yes.
The breast milk has all the nutrients. It has everything that will satisfy the baby, including water.
Right.
And above all, it has antibodies that will protect your baby from common diseases. And at the end of the day, it is clean, safe, easy, and easily digestible and readily available. Yes.
All right. You mentioned of the role of breastfeeding in the immunity of the baby. Would you want to talk about that?
So what we are emphasizing on concerning immunity, breast milk, that is human breast milk, has antibodies that cannot be equated to any other milk. And these antibodies are passed to the baby through the mother's milk.
Yes.
And what happens when these antibodies set in, the baby is able to build the immune system and be able to prevent them from getting diseases such as diarrhea and respiratory infections that are
Yes.
very common during the toddler years of the child. So usually when we make emphasis on building immunity, it
Yes.
goes a long way in helping parents to save on costs that are related to treating of the baby, and also time that is used in being away from work while you're attending to a sick baby, and also the inconveniences that come around it.
Yes.
Sometimes these childhood illnesses, when not treated in good time, can result to death.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. That's Dr. Valerie joining us from this is Kitale. That's great to have that recap. I think Dr. Ojwang, Dr. has just mentioned of Valerie just mentioned of the importance of breast milk when it comes to immunity. Now, from where you sit as a doctor, what is there any information you would want to add on that? Maybe the importance of a breast milk to the child, and that's the importance of breastfeeding to the child, to the baby, and to the mother. Would you want to share a little bit of information about that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so in addition to what Valerie has mentioned,
Yes.
so the milk, especially the first few days, or what's called the colostrum, is very rich in something called IgA, which is a part of the immunity that is really good for the baby.
Yes.
And that is especially the first few days. So that's very important, especially for because it's not found, like she's mentioned, in other products, be it cow milk or be it nutritional supplements.
Yes, yes.
So in addition, breastfeeding has also been found to be, let's start with the mother. So for the mother, it has been shown to reduce the risk of heart disease.
Okay.
And also to reduce the risk of cholesterol, high levels of cholesterol in the body, and cardiovascular disease as well.
All right.
So those are benefits that through the research has been shown by the act of breastfeeding.
Yes.
Additionally, also for the baby, the same thing has been shown that there are reduced chances of obesity for the baby.
Yes.
Because of lower levels of cholesterol. And there is also a reduced risk also of diabetes.
Okay.
For the babies.
Yes.
But also more importantly, wale watoto ambao wanakunywa exclusive breastfeeding,
yes,
for the first 6 months of life, they've been shown to actually have a higher IQ.
Okay.
Because the breast milk increases there, has been found to have a benefit towards
Yes.
the cognitive development of the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But even just the simple act of breastfeeding,
All right.
because there's that personal contact, and that skin-to-skin contact between the mother and the baby, which really enhances that bond, that maternal bond,
Yes.
which is very important in stimulating that the development of the brain.
Okay.
So that is the other benefit that is conferred because of that.
All right.
There are many other medical benefits as well, like prevention of even certain cancers.
Okay.
Like we had mentioned last week.
Yes.
Women who exclusively breastfeed have been shown to have a lower risk of breast and ovarian cancer.
Okay.
So there's that correlation that is of very much benefit, which, especially in this day and age,
yes,
where the incidence of cancer is arising because of the kind of lifestyle that you live, that has been shown to be an advantage.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's Dr. Ojwang in studio. And of course, Valerie, there is what Dr. Ojwang is mentioning is bringing us to the point of the challenges women face while, breastfeeding. Would you want to mention some of these challenges and maybe how a breastfeeding mother can overcome them?
So usually the first challenge that the mothers face, you'll find that they'll tell you they're not having enough milk. But this comes a long way because when you prepare a mother from the time she was pregnant,
yes,
she will be able to have enough reserve stores to be able to produce milk in good time and in good amount right after delivery. So for such a mother who maybe didn't have proper follow-up during her antenatal clinics, then you will have to check on her diet and encourage her to take at least 3 meals and 3 healthy snacks in a day.
Okay.
And of course, hydrate a lot on hot, nutritious fluids like porridge, hot chocolate. She can avoid the caffeinated drinks like tea leaves and coffee because
yes,
they tend to dehydrate the body, and yet we need the water that comes in the milk.
okay,
So for the mothers who claim that they don't have enough milk, you just need to check on their diet and see how often they are hydrating and how they are eating, so that you can reassure her that she's capable of feeding that baby for the
yes,
6 months. And then another challenge could be ineffective suckling on the side of the baby. But usually this is highly contributed by the fact that a mother does not get the right technique of positioning the baby on the breast.
yes,
So when
yes,
you don't position the baby on the breast well, you tend to, the baby will also get tired of suckling and will not suckle enough. And they also at some point get frustrated and then they will not suckle effectively. So
all right,
positioning and attachment has to be closely monitored before a mother is discharged from hospital, so that you're
yes,
comfortable that this mother knows how to position and attach her baby to the breast.
All right.
Other challenges that come as a result of positioning and attachment could be cracking of nipples or injuries to the breast. And
Yes.
usually, when this occurs, it's very painful, and a mother cannot be able to breastfeed on the cracked nipple because sometimes it can be extreme and be a wound that even has blood. So, in such a case, you encourage the mother to go for treatment to seek
Yes.
medical advice and avoid breastfeeding on the affected breast. Maybe she can express and discard the milk and use the other breast for feeding.
All
But
right.
if it's just a simple crack, she can use her own milk to apply on that crack, which will give a better and quicker relief as opposed to gels and ointments that may be prescribed.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, you've talked about some of the mothers who maybe they don't have enough milk. Some of one of the challenges. Now there are those that will say they don't want to breastfeed because maybe their breasts are going to be saggy. What would you say about this? Because they deny maybe the baby the breast milk because they feel they'll be saggy. What do you have to say about this?
So what I can say about that is the issue of sagging breasts depends on the way the mother handles themselves, even during the breastfeeding period. We
Yes.
encourage mothers to just maintain wearing their well-fitting bras, not too tight, but only the time when she's now breastfeeding is when she can let loose and expose the breast to the baby, because
Okay.
there are also issues of attachment and bonding
Yes.
that you need to make sure the baby has skin to skin contact with the mother. But when she's not in the act of breastfeeding or doing her usual chores, she can firm her breast by maintaining a well fitting bra, and the sagging should not be able to come.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think that is an excuse that mothers should give. I know most of the young mothers tend to have that notion,
Yes.
but at the end of the day, they should look at what the benefits outweigh the risks. Because if you deny your baby the breast milk because of your physique,
Yes.
and then in the future you're just running up and down, in and out of hospital because of not breastfeeding that baby, I
Yes.
think that will be more expensive for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And coming to Dr. Ojwang, there is the bit of some of the challenges Valerie has mentioned. I don't know, is there a way men can come in and try to maybe offer support? Is there any support a man can offer to a woman or a mother who's breastfeeding?
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh.
So here, Lance, as a husband and a father,
Yes, yes.
I think it's very important for us as men to be there for our wives and for our children.
Okay.
Simply because the very act of motherhood,
yes,
the journey from beginning from the first to the 9 months, it is quite a journey.
Okay.
There are so many changes that happen to the body, physically, mentally,
yes,
emotionally, and even during the nurturing phase once the baby has been born.
Yes.
Because remember, the baby can sleep. The baby needs to breastfeed regularly, and the same mother who is expected to feed the baby
yes,
probably has other chores at home to be able to fulfill.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we support them, that we will be there for them.
Yes.
In terms of if it's helping the chores in the home, if it comes to bonding with the baby, take that baby, carry the baby, remove your shirt.
Yes.
Have that skin to skin contact.
All right.
Because that also helps to build the bond between the baby and you as the parent.
Okay.
And the baby can tell.
Yes.
And this is more so especially in like in preterm babies. Those who are born before their age for whatever reason.
Yes.
It could be because of high blood pressure, because of something we called preterm drainage of liquor, or for many other reasons,
yes,
premature labor. So for such babies, it is very important and actually improve the chances of survival simply by even the father being there to do what has been referred to as the kangaroo method.
Yes.
Of just being able to take care of the baby.
Okay.
Put the baby on your chest, let them lie there. This and there's a certain connection, and there's also that the body releases a certain hormone even for you.
Yes.
The hormones called endorphins, or the hormones that are associated with the pleasurable emotions.
Yes.
That create that bond, and even you as a parent, it gives you a lot of satisfaction. So very important to do that. Very important to support them, not to be too demanding.
Yes.
Be easy, even in terms of matters reproductive health. This is a phase where we need to be selfless.
Yes.
As the men,
to
be able to support our women during that phase, in terms of the needs that are there. It's very good to be understanding, very important to be understanding.
Okay.
To the state of the mother at that point in time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. And coming to you, Valerie, there is the point of diet. How can mothers ensure they maintain a good and balanced diet even while breastfeeding?
As I had mentioned earlier, this breastfeeding mother needs to eat properly. And of course, we make reference to the balanced diet that we always talk about in our setups.
Yes.
Making sure that the plate that this mother presents with for a meal should have an energy-giving food that is a carbohydrate. There's the types like ugali, rice, chapati, and then now maybe have a protein source of food, which we can get from the animal sources of food, any kinds of meat or the plant protein like beans. And then now for vegetables, which is the vitamin source for vegetables and fruits. For the cooked vegetables, we insist on traditional green leafy vegetables that are not supposed to be overcooked, so that we maintain the iron that they acquire from them. Assuming that this mother lost a lot of blood during delivery, and during the 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding, the baby totally depends on the mother's milk for iron reserves. So if you find a baby having low iron during that period, then you should also check the mother's diet.
Okay.
Then for fruits is any fruit, and should come alongside every meal. So in short, we want that balanced plate of food 3 times a day. That is at breakfast, at lunch, and at dinner.
Yes.
And then we add some healthy snacks, maybe at 10 a.m., 4 p.m., and maybe 10 o'clock at night. And the healthy snacks can be as simple as a cup of porridge, maybe yogurt, maybe milk, or hot chocolate. So at the end of the day, we work with what is easily available and affordable for the mother, depending on her economic status.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard you mention of yogurt. There are some
Yes.
mothers that would prefer maybe to give the infant some yogurt, just to maybe so that the infant can also feel the sweetness of life.
So I think
is it even right?
what we have forgotten to say is that there are dangers of mixed feeding, because when we talk about exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, it means that you're not supposed to give your baby anything else except the breast milk. So usually we talk about dangers of mixed feeding, which means that the baby will be able to have increased risk of childhood illnesses like diarrhea. And then they'll also tend to, the baby's stomach is still small. and has not adopted to digesting other things apart from the breast milk that I've already mentioned is easily digestible. So at the end of the day, you'll find that you'll expose this baby to issues that are damaging the gut of the baby because you're introducing something that they're not ready to digest. And that way you interfere with the immunity of the baby in the future.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think before we come to look at how communities and workplaces can, help breastfeeding mothers, I really want to hear, Daktari, your input on some of the dangers, or maybe having a mixed feeding, having to use breast milk, or sometimes having to employ use of some other food, maybe smashed fruits, smashed avocados, the yogurt she's mentioning about. What are some of the dangers from your end?
Yeah, thank you very much. So like we mentioned, the breast has a perfect mix of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, and also immune elements within it, which are enough for the baby for the first 6 months. And subsequently, the supplementation is to boost what is already there.
Okay.
So if, for example, there's a mix between breast milk and, let's say, other foods, which are either prepared by the mother or bought. There's a possibility that breast milk is unique because it's very easy for it to be digested by the body. Because the body's the enzymes within the stomach are able to easily digest the breast milk in its raw form, as opposed to other nutritional supplements at that stage, or other foods which they may not necessarily be broken down. But also remember, you're also introducing something exogenous or something foreign into the body. There's how was it prepared? There's also chances of even contamination, for example, for the baby at this point in time. And remember, the immunity is limited at this stage. So that is putting them at risk. But also, more importantly, by mixing, it means that you reduce the ability of the body to produce even more milk. Because the way the milk is produced is because there are two hormones that are important in milk production. One is called prolactin, and the other one is called oxytocin. So the prolactin it's from the brain, it stimulates milk production, and it relies heavily on the simple act of breastfeeding itself. So if the breast is not stimulated, maybe because the mother is giving other supplements, then there's a chance that the milk production could actually go down. Because the more the suckling reflex is triggered, it stimulates the brain to produce more of that hormone. So if that is interrupted, then that could cause a reduction of milk production. And then you'd hear the mother complaining that, oh, I don't have milk. Yet it was there. If you don't, and maybe it's also important to emphasize that it's irrespective of the size of the breasts. The body has its own way of regulating itself. So if the mother does not breastfeed the baby or mixes with other foods, then that milk production will automatically reduce. And maybe if you'll allow me, just to mention that as much as we're talking about exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, it is important, and we encourage mothers to also go beyond the 6 months, even up to 24 months. I remember I have a brother who we are 6 of us. Karibu alikuwa namalizia ule jirani anafuata nyuma. But he was very sharp. And of course he was very healthy. So we encourage mothers to go even beyond the 6 months. But after 6 months, you can now introduce the supplements, because now the body is able to digest those other foods.
Okay, Valerie, there are some mothers that are unable to breastfeed because of maybe underlying medical conditions, or for some given reasons. Maybe when they have to strike a balance between, working and breastfeeding. I know they choose to use a bottled milk. What would you say of these?
So I'm not sure what you mean by bottled milk, because the bottled milk can have the expressed breast milk.
The normal cow milk, maybe from the shop.
Okay, so now for the mothers who need to go back to work, because we know that the usual number of maternity days are 90 calendar days.
Yes.
So for these mothers, we encourage them and we probe them to start doing expressing of milk early enough, because when the baby is younger, in the first month, they don't take much, and maybe a mother has a lot of milk. So we encourage the mother to express early enough and store the milk, because expressed breast milk, depending on the storage container or the storage freezer that you use, it can last up to 6 months. So for such a mother, when she goes back to work, she'll not have challenges with feeding that baby, because what she has to do is just to leave the milk, instruct the caregiver of which milk she'll remove from the freezer and how to thaw it,
Yes.
so that the baby can take it, because the milk is not boiled. It's just put in some warm water until it thaws, and then you give the baby at the right temperature.
Okay.
So for mothers who are going back to work, we insist on expressing. And in the event that you don't have these gadgets like fridge at home, we still tell the mother that breast milk can still stay safe within 4 to 8 hours of the day, depending on the temperature area of where you are. If it's a cold place, it can stay up to 8 hours. If it's a bit hot, maybe 4 hours. So depending on the work schedule or the timings that she's allowed to go in and out, she can be able to feed the baby before she leaves and leave some milk for at least 2 feeds before she comes back.
Okay.
Because a baby usually feeds at least every 3 hours, and mothers should be able to know the cues of babies, in the sense that not every time a baby cries wants to feed, so that you can tune the baby to those feeding hours, and then it will be easy for the caregiver. So
Okay.
the mother is still able to produce the milk for the baby while away from the
All
baby.
right. Okay. Thank you so much. I think we are just going to hold it right there. For now, we take a very short break to have the latest in business, and then we'll be back shortly to continue with the conversation. If you got any question, you can share with us on 0717 400 555. That is our call and WhatsApp line. You can as well get in touch across our digital platforms at OPFM Live. Let me know what you think when it comes to the conversation we're having in studio this wonderful morning. And we'll be glad to engage with our panelists in studio. That is Dr. Ojwang in studio from Premier Care Diagnostics, and Valerie Maleche, who is following us and helping us with the conversation remotely. Stay with us. Don't go away. We're sorry for that technical hitch-up, and we're going to fix that to have the latest in business shortly, because our technical team will be working to have that fixed. But in the meantime, feel free to share with us your feedback and your questions with us on 0717 400 555. You can engage with us right about now. And for that reason, Dr. Ojwang, before our technical team comes in to fix the hitch, I'd really want you to talk about maybe workplaces and the community. How can they come in to help maybe breastfeeding mothers so that when they are at work, when they resume work, they can as well breastfeed seamlessly?
Thank you very much. So according to the WHO recommendations, it's very, employers are encouraged to be able to support mothers who work amongst us. Because remember that at the end of the day, we're all part of a community, and it is important that we allow, we empower women to be able to feel free to take strategic positions in the workplace.
All right.
And because they're part of the society, the reproduction and raising children is a very key role. And it's important that as employers, we walk the talk. We encourage our women to have families. And also, even as Christians, it's very important that we treat everyone fairly. I've seen employers who have a bias towards the genders, which is quite unfortunate. So it's important that we have gender equity in terms of when you're doing selections for various positions. And in terms of specifically mothers, either aspiring mothers or mothers who already are breastfeeding, it is important to enhance our work culture that would necessitate or facilitate breastfeeding practices. For example, I know of companies and corporates that have a specific designated area for breastfeeding mothers. Because what this does is that, especially once they've come back from leave, then it allows them to continue remaining productive at work. Because you can imagine a mother whose mind is on the baby at home, wondering, mothers, there's that connection. They can tell when the baby is uncomfortable.
All right.
They'll not even be able to focus at work if, let's say, their child is not well taken care of.
Okay, Doctor, we just hold it right there. We just have the latest in business and then we'll be back shortly.
Your business line. It's just business.
The Court of Appeal has suspended the removal from office of Kenya Revenue Authority Chairman Anthony Mwaura pending a petition challenging his removal. A three-judge appellate bench has suspended the July 15 decision by the High Court that ordered Mwaura's removal, saying his appointment was illegal. High Court Judge Francis Gikonyo had ruled that Mwaura's appointment by President William Ruto was illegal because it had been made while Mwaura had an active corruption case in court. However, Appeal Court Judges Sankale Ole Kantai, Jesse Lesit, and Pauline Nyamoya have now directed that the case be listed for hearing on a priority basis when judges resume from their August vacation. And Equity Group has reported a half-year profit after tax of 29.6 billion shillings. The group, which had been named as the top financial brand in Africa and the second strongest banking brand in the world, has seen its deposit franchise grow by 11% year-on-year.
Did you know the Friends of Hope is an initiative of Hope Media? Did you know
shillings and growth in investment securities to 459 billion shillings, resulting in an overall strong liquidity position.
So engaging a nutritionist, Valerie Maleche Wangila, who are helping us with the conversation this wonderful morning on why we need to breastfeed to term. All right, we were talking about how communities and workplaces can help, breastfeeding mothers to seamlessly go on with their breastfeeding. And I just want to invite you, Valerie, over the same so that you can respond. We can see how can the society and maybe workplaces come in to help breastfeeding mothers to breastfeed seamlessly.
Considering the theme that we have this year for the World Breastfeeding Week, that is our main focus. And the workplaces, we are encouraging employers to create a space for mothers to be able to be able to express breast milk while away from their babies, have a place to store so that when they go home, they can carry that milk while it's still safe for the baby. In this process, they'll be encouraging or maintaining lactation, which is a process of breastfeeding. And this helps to increase their milk production. You find that when a mother is away from the baby and not breastfeeding, neither expressing for so many hours,
Yes.
the milk production will tend to go down, and this will put pressure on the mother. By the end of the 4th month, the mother
Yes.
will be ready to give the baby other alternatives to breast milk because of that pressure.
Okay.
And also, when the mother is continuing to express while at work, it will help to take care of her breasts, because when the breasts get engorged, they can develop into other conditions like mastitis, and also bring issues for the mother regarding health. Also, the breastfeeding act, or the action of breastfeeding and even expressing, maintains that breast in a way that it can prevent chances of even getting some cancers that are related to the breast. So it is important for this mother to relieve herself at the workplace. And even as Dr. Ojwang had mentioned, that if you want the mothers to concentrate at the workplace and be able to be productive in the workplace, then you need to
Yes.
also make sure that they are able to be comfortable. When you have engorged breasts, or you're thinking about your baby, or the nanny has called to say the milk is finished,
Yes.
there is no way you'll be productive in that workplace, and that will be a loss to the employer.
All
So
right.
we're encouraging for those spaces, and some organizations are way ahead. They allow the mother to come with the nanny and the baby.
Yes.
So such a mother is so comfortable, because she can easily step in and out of her workspace to be able to attend to the baby without any issues.
All right.
Unlike the mother who is just on half of the time at the workplace, she is watching the camera she left at home, trying to see what is happening with the baby. So I think going forward, we hope that employers will be able to be pushed to make this available, and even for the other mothers in the marketplace, the public places. We want to make it comfortable for mothers to do breastfeeding without being stigmatized. So
Okay.
in the case that if they are seen in a public place breastfeeding, no one should take anything against them, because it is their right. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Valerie. And there is a comment that came in, Dr. and Frank. Let's call a spade a spade. Mothers who refuse to breastfeed because they don't want the breast to sag are just selfish. It's not fair to put your looks above the health and well-being of the child that the Lord has graciously given you. Na vile Samuel alikuwa ameomba wapate watoto. And there is a question here. Good morning, Frank. Kindly ask for me whether at 6 months a baby can be given goat's milk as it is, or must dilute it with some water? Over to you. Before I come to Dr. Zhuang, let's have Valerie. What do you have to say about this? Is
Okay,
it okay
so
to give a baby goat milk as raw as it is?
so usually we about the animal milk, that is cow's milk and anything related to that.
Yes.
We say that it should be delayed to maybe after 1 year. And remember, one thing the listeners should know that is, at the end of the 6th month, if we are counting days, it will be the 180th day of life.
Yes.
Is when we can start introducing other feeds into the baby's system alongside with the breast milk.
Okay.
So this baby should continue with the breast milk up to 24 months. And the introduction of other milk, especially animal milk, should come after 1 year of age. So I wouldn't recommend the animal milk unless it is just on another basis. Yeah, but we don't recommend animal milk until up to 1 year.
Thank you. Thank you. Dakar, do you have just in less than 30 seconds? if you can comment on having to introduce maybe a goat or even a camel, donkey milk to.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's good to also contextualize.
Yes.
And be supportive of the mothers, because a lot happens after delivery.
Yes.
There are mothers who go through certain challenges. And I think it's important to talk about mental health and wellness even during this time.
Okay.
There's something also called postpartum depression. You find that the mothers maybe for some reason cannot produce even milk after delivery.
Yes.
So we would make exceptions for such mothers. And the advice remains the same, however, that the mother's milk is the best.
Yes.
Comes at minimal cost, at the right temperature, is convenient, available. So as much as possible, it's important to have that prioritized.
All right.
And it's important to talk to the people around you. Talk to your nutritionist, talk to your pediatrician, talk to your mental health expert as a mother, to be able to get further advice on this, because this is a very critical and deep topic that we may not be able to
exhaust.
Mention everything to exhaust.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I can see, Caleb, you say that Daktari Wakosa kabisa, I'm getting knowledge as a young journalist in college. Thank you so much, Caleb. And so, Valerie, our time is pretty much well spent, and we may not have to go on with the conversation. I know many have questions, many questions streaming in, but we're going to share Daktari's number just in case you have a pressing question you can share with him. So, Valerie, in 20 seconds, what would be your remarks, closing remarks?
So my closing remarks, first of all mothers are capable of producing enough milk for their babies.
Yes.
And you will know that your baby is getting satisfied or getting adequate milk if they are gaining at least 500 grams to 1 kilogram in every month that you attend your clinics.
Okay.
So let us just do exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, and employers to support mothers who are breastfeeding to achieve this. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Valerie. That's a nutritionist who's been helping us with the conversation. Daktari, in 20 seconds, what would be your closing remarks?
Thank you. I think mine is just to encourage a collaborative effort.
Yes.
Between the community, the government as well, in terms of the maternal and child health policies, and also the private healthcare providers. It's time that we came together just to enhance the health of the mothers. The mothers are very important to the community.
Okay.
It's important that we ensure that they have a safe environment to be able to get adequate support.
All right.
So wherever you are, it's important to visit the medical facility near you, be it government or private,
yes,
so that you can be able to get further advice, because these are very important topic that needs to be discussed extensively.
All right. Thank you so much, Daktari. God bless you so much. And thank you so much, Valerie Maleche, as well, for creating time to help us with the conversation. Wish you a lovely day and have yourselves a great day ahead. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless you. My name is Favored Frank. Bye-bye.
A revival is breaking out. The voice of hope in the air.